Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. You know, we've been working on that Evo motor for quite a while, and I decided I've got a bunch of stuff on order that won't be in till tomorrow or the next day. And I thought, well, gee, do I have anything I really want to talk about? And I said, yes, there is something I've really wanted to talk about. So before I get started, I want to say please subscribe. Please tap the little bell. Be sure you click on the bell so you get notified when we have a new video up. And this video is actually about swap meets. Swap meets are one of my favorite things in the motorcycle industry. You know, I've been in the industry a long time, and swap meets are gas. I love motorcycle swap meets. For a lot of us, it's a big part of our social life. I mean, this is where we go see friends we've seen and known for years. I have met people at swap meets that are now dear friends that I've known for 40 years. I go to a swap meet, sometimes I run into people I haven't seen in years. Now that's true of any good show, whether it's a swap meet or not. But if you're really into bikes in a big way, swap meets are a necessity. They're a wonderful thing because you can go find the things that you've been looking for, maybe find a good price on them. But it's not all about money. It really isn't. There are people that do the swap meets and go and show their stuff and sell their stuff. Like I said, it's part of their social life. I try to make a swap meet at least once a month. I like to go to one somewhere. And of course, I live in Southern California. There's the big one in Long Beach every once a month. There's another one coming up in, it's at Redondo Beach. It's the El Camino College. That one's coming up in October, which means it's coming up in just a couple weekends. I love to go to those swap meets. I love to see everybody. I love to buy stuff. Sometimes I'll go sell stuff. The important thing is to go and have a good time, because it's really just like everything else in motorcycling. It's about fun. And I don't do anything unless it's fun. If it's not going to be fun, count me out. I'm here for a good time. I think there's certain things, certain rules of etiquette that should be followed. It's the plain old golden rule stuff. I mean, treat people the way you'd like to be treated. You know, you can learn a lot at a swap meet. There's a lot of really knowledgeable people who show up. There's a lot of people that are telling you they know stuff that they don't, and they're wrong. But you have to be able to sort them out. And like I said, you get to know people over the years. And you find that a lot of things change hands for a lot of reasons. I have people show up at swap meets and say, Mike, I've got something here. I was expecting you, and I knew you would want this. Okay, how thoughtful to know that my panhead needed a new pair of passing lamp brackets or something like that, because you heard me say it last time and you put a pair away for me. How nice, how thoughtful. That sort of thing feels really good. One of my favorite old buddies that I see at the swap meet every time I go to any of the big ones, my friend Alan. And Alan and I have known each other for 30 or 40 years. It's not always good to talk to Alan because he always tells stories about me, and I'm just not that bad, but Alan is a great guy. It's really funny. Couple swap meets a couple months ago, my buddy Fred and I were at swap meet in Long Beach, and we're walking along, and he was getting hung up looking at something way back somewhere, and I was looking forward, and anyway, we got separated. Not unusual. We always run into each other again. It's a big place. And I went down and I ran into my friend Alan. Alan and I are standing there talking, which is always a pleasure. And we're shooting the bull, just talking. And Fred came walking up. My point being that Alan didn't know that Fred and I knew each other, were friends, or that we had even arrived together. He just walked up while I was talking to Alan. Well, Fred looked down on the ground in front of Alan's space there, and there was a service manual for a 441 BSA Victor. Now, Fred's had a 441 BSA Victor since high school. Fred is not a kid. He's had that bike a long time, okay? So he saw the service manual laying on the ground there, and he picked it up. It was in nice shape, and he said to Alan, whom he didn't know, and he said, "So how much do you want for this?" Alan calmly looked at him and said, "Do you have the motorcycle?" Fred said, "Yes, I've had it since high school." Alan said, "Great, it's yours." That's the sort of thing that occurs at swap meets. That's the sort of thing that warms your heart. There are guys that are strictly there to make money, and I certainly don't begrudge them that. That's fine. But it's not always about money. It's about having a good time. When you want to get rid of your parts, why in the world would you want to get rid of your parts? Well, how about I have more parts than I do have shelves to put them on? And I don't see any reason to stock things that I can go to the store and buy. I save my old stuff. The modern stuff, I go and sell at the swap meets. I sell it at a real reasonable price. Why do I do that? The guy that's buying it needs it. I want him to have it. I want the stuff to get used. I want him to have it, him or her, to have what it is that I'm selling. And I'd like it to be a friendly exchange. I keep going to swap meets and I keep running into people over and over and over. Always treat people as if you're going to see them again, because you probably are. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say about swap meets. I needed to say it. It's important to me. It's loads of fun for me. I love to go to the swap meets, and I love to go to the big ones where I know friends are going to be there, because if I ride my motorcycle and I can't carry something big home, they can bring it in their van. And that's cool. Anyway, that's all I really had to say. I said it. I feel good about it. And I'll see you next time. We'll be working on the Evo motor. And until then, see you out on the road.